Welcome to Be the Glitter, where we talk about tough topics with giggles and leave inspiration that sticks. I'm your host, Laura Paisley Beck, and today we have with us Addison Radcliff. Welcome, Addison.
Hello. Thank you, Laura, for having me today. I'm so happy to be here on Be the Glitter.
Excellent. Would you like to please introduce yourself the way you would like to be known?
Yes. Hi, my name is Addison Radcliff. I go by she and her. I'm a realtor here in Dane County. I'm licensed in the state of Wisconsin, so I do that during the day. I have a passion for community and helping one another. I've worked as a social worker in the past, so that sense of companionship and community and togetherness is important to me. So I love being able to have opportunities like Be the Glitter, where we get to share stories and we get to create awareness and pull in allies, give support, get support to all the communities, right? I am trans, male to female, and I've been that way my whole life. So I've had to learn how to exist in a community that I don't think was ready for me to exist quite yet. But here we are, and I'm thriving, and I want to build a community that thrives around me. So
I love that.
that's a little bit about me.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you mentioned that you're trans very openly, that the community was not quite ready for you, at least at the start. Do you mind telling us a little bit about your identity journey?
Yeah, sure. I started transitioning when I was probably about third grade. I was very little. I remember hearing stories from when I was like 2 years old that I might not have known how to say full sentences, but I knew every word to Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman. So there were signs, but with that, publicly, I would say by the time I got to third, fourth, fifth grade, I was kind of coming and going as Addison, female Addison, and male Addison. And through that transition, there were lots of conversations, lots of how do we manage this, right? It was new. It was early 2000s, right? The world looks different, wasn't as open, wasn't as accepting as maybe it is now. So I remember doing things like having to go to the office to use like the office bathroom, like the faculty bathroom, because they didn't want me in one bathroom or the other. So I was like isolated to just special facilities, which I don't necessarily think anyone meant any harm, right?
Yeah.
I think they meant it as a way to just protect everyone. And so I'm grateful that overall I'm not like traumatized by it, but it definitely sends a signal to a child that like you're a little different. And it wasn't until I was in like closer to high school where I finally was like in therapy and counseling and really figuring out what this looked like and who I was for them to label it, right? I was just existing. I didn't get
Okay.
labeled transgender or gender dysphoric or I never had a diagnosis of these things. I was just existing. And so it wasn't until then that I realized, oh, okay, there is a rhyme to the reason. And that gave me a little bit of peace. So then I would say by high school, I just fully started transitioning. There was no way I could deny it.
Yeah.
I had to in order to live.
Yeah.
And I started hormones when I was 14, and
Okay.
I have been on them ever since. And I've just always existed as Addison. I would say that I have definitely had different eras of who I am and what I
Mhm.
do, but I like to say that each week is kind of an episode of Keeping Up with Addison. I feel blessed because I know that my origin story overall is not as harsh as others, right?
Sure.
So I feel very grateful and very blessed to ultimately, yes, there were bad apples in every orchard. That, yeah, trauma, everyone has it, right?
Sure.
Not
Yeah.
saying that it's been just glitter and rainbows, but
Sure.
yeah, I feel though that like with having a psych degree, with understanding child development, education, the way that those systems work, I really do feel that they meant well and that their intentions were well, and that even when they were uncomfortable,
Yeah.
I say that my elementary school actually tried to kick me out for it by like fourth
Wow.
or fifth grade, and I had to go to a different school for a year until my mom, I would say, always backed me.
Oh,
My
that's great.
my biological dad,
Oh, wow.
but I've always had a good advocate to exist from my mom, especially at a young age, trying to navigate that. I know that wasn't easy because she was also figuring it out. I was figuring it out.
Yeah.
She was figuring it out. And then having to navigate the world. And then I wasn't an only child. So there wasn't just time allotment per se to figure it all out.
Sure.
We just had to kind of roll
Yeah.
with it. I remember one time we got I think it was my graduation pictures. And we were just out shopping and doing some things, and people were just kind of staring and looking at me. And my mom's always been like a Mary Poppins purse bag. Like her bag weighs 50 pounds, but you're going to have whatever
Everything
you
you
need
need.
in it. Yes. I think that's from having multiple kids. But anyway, in that bag, she actually had like some of my graduation pictures. And I remember her like telling me, like, sign it. Like she was so fed up with these like people that were just not kind of leaving me alone. They were kind of following us around, taking pictures, staring, just being over the top, like in our business.
Rude. Yeah.
Yes. And I really just I'm going to live my life. I have to brush you off. I have to ignore you. I have to just keep living. And maybe that's created the delulu of why I feel like I'm on an episode of my own reality TV show, because people are watching. It feels
Yeah.
like anytime I step outside, or I guess now even in the house. I remember, so I was probably like, 18 years old. And we signed them, and she started handing my picture, like, here, just have this. If you want to look that hard, just have a picture. Like, it's not that big of a deal. She doesn't care. Take a picture with her. And then they finally kind of that was always stuck with me, because then it was like, if you just kind of address it,
Yeah.
like maybe I don't have to exist in like that, like just kind of world.
I love that your mom was such a great advocate for you and standing up for you and letting you be your authentic self and also treating it like a learning opportunity for herself too. She was being like uber mom, it sounds like totally super mom.
Yes, she has always fought for me and my siblings, wanted nothing but the best, still to this day. I'm just older, but she loves me all the same.
Yeah.
Definitely blessed to have that safe space. Really, I would say my mom's whole side of the family's kind of always been that way. Just this is Addison, right?
Oh, that's great. And I love how you're talking about when you're very young, like 2, 3 years old, you knew right away that you felt like you were a woman and there were certain songs that were calling that out of you. Are you able to like, think back to that time and especially when you didn't have words necessarily to say, I know I'm a woman. What did it feel like in your body to recognize that you something was a little different?
That's a good question. I remember a turning point when someone was like, that's not normal. That was when I started finally, just to me, I was just me. I didn't realize that I had an identity issue, or for lack of
Yeah.
better words, right? Like I didn't realize that was me. I didn't realize that my sexual orientation or my gender identity, I didn't realize that those were unaligned, because I was just existing at me. And I remember, obviously, when you're younger, you're not thinking like mating or sex or things like that, right? Like you just don't, you're just not, that's not what you do. And so like back then, I remember just being like playful, like, no, I don't want to play with that. I want to play with the Barbie. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I didn't really feel any type of way. It wasn't until I felt that society started making me. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think like, because when the world started labeling me, and when the world started categorizing me and putting me into social buckets and ranking me on their scales, that's when I felt, oh, you know what I mean? But before, I was just maybe ignorantly, but like blissfully living my best life.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
In my journey, I would say probably about 12, 13. I was like, I was born a boy. I'm gay, right? Like first logical
Yeah.
step. I'm
Yeah.
interested in men. I'm at minimally gay. And I remember having like that stress and that anxiety of like telling people. And I think I made it a bigger deal than it was, because by the time I was 12 years old, they knew. Like, so I had all this internal anxiety of being like, oh my gosh, I have to tell them. I have to tell these people that are near and dear to me that like, here we go. And I remember watching things on like Lifetime where like trans people are murdered,
Yeah.
right? Like gay kids are disowned from their family, and like Lifetime and Hallmark, like that's true like ID channel. Like they really be telling you what's happening.
Yeah.
And like I just was worried. And I remember having the conversation where they all were like, okay, thanks for saying something. Like we know. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it just kind of after that, after like my internal people knew, the rest
Yeah.
of that just kind of fell into place. And I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that everyone was so supportive and that you felt like finally safe to be your true self. There are obviously a lot of people who still aren't out. So maybe, as you said earlier, part of what makes Be the Glitter so fun is that we can talk about some of these tougher, deeper topics and allow ourselves to have like the giggle around it, right? Because, like, you probably know from psychological studies, sometimes that is our response to things. Like, we can just express like, let's make this more accessible and let's make it comfortable. Let's talk about this. So you probably get asked about your identity journey a lot. Is there anything that you have never yet gotten a chance to talk about that you don't mind sharing today? What's that one part that you never really got to share yet?
The one part of
Your identity journey.
my identity journey that isn't very public, I would say the relationship I have with my biological father and his family. As I mentioned, I feel like in comparison, my origin story, I feel very blessed, very grateful. But my biological dad was very abusive to like everyone. It was like mom, siblings, things like that. I remember my parents got divorced. My mom fought for us. Like, I want to make sure that there's no ill picture written there. Any means that like we were safe, we were taken care of. But
Get super mom.
yes, and eternally grateful for that. But I would say for the first 16 years, I got my hunter safety and my concealing carry because conversion therapy doesn't work. I learned how to cook because man in a grill would be good for me to know.
Wow.
Back and forth, like middle school, I had years where I was a boy. And that was because my biological dad did not agree with it. And he would be physical over it. He would be verbally and emotionally violent. And I don't really talk about that because
Yeah.
that's his story, I feel.
Yeah.
And I don't always like to bring light to him and his way of living.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that. And it, thank goodness, is the past. It's
Right.
not part of your present. And I can imagine how it is very difficult when your own father figure is such a difficult person in that loving way. We're taught to respect and adore our parents. And
Right.
when there's a disconnect to what we feel like love and support looks like and what is actually showing up for us from those people, that's hard. That's really hard.
I like I understand almost his issues. I've just come to accept them, and they are what they are. We don't have a relationship now. I have not talked to him since I was like 16 years old, and it is better that we just live our own lives, and
Yeah.
that's just what it has to be.
Thank you for listening. And now, a little glitter from our sponsor.
This episode of Be the Glitter is brought to you by New Valley Labs. In 2023, we set out to build the type of firm we would have wanted to work with when we were building. Not a bunch of consultants with branded PowerPoint frameworks or ex-corporate guys sharing best practices, but founders like us. Scrappy outsiders who have been in the trenches and come out the other side. Building and funding startups in the Midwest is hard enough. Our startup studio was born from the frustration of not finding genuine resources for founders who don't always fit the typical mold. Our crew is made up of veteran founders who've built empires, hustling for funding, and celebrated serious wins. We're here to disrupt the norm and give a voice to the underdogs. Diverse, underrepresented founders and fearless innovators who are building the next generation of unicorns. Welcome to New Valley, where founders bloom. Email us at hello@newvalleylabs.com to help start or boost your journey as a startup founder. Hello, fabulous. It's wonderful to see you here. Let's spread some glitter together and help our community, who is the Alphabet Gang, right? Welcome to Be the Glitter. This is an example of 5 seconds of ad space. In a 30 to 60-minute ad, you can share your mission, your vision, your amazing event that you need to promote, and how your target audience is going to contact you or take that action you want. In 30 seconds is now. Check out the promotional packages we have right now.
Visit the website listed below or our link in the bio.
Click on podcast, and there you're going to see our lucky dog packages for only $75 or $150. Small contributions make big change. Looking forward to spreading glitter with you.
So my one tip of advice is it's okay to terminate relationships you feel like should be forever to keep yourself safe, sane, and going. I would just recommend anyone, if you're ever in those situations, always reach out and find help. I know Laura, I know we're always here to help that community member through anything, especially safety things. There's other resources out in the community. There are domestic violence shelters. There are lots of resources for those that can be in those relationships that are not beneficial to them.
Is there anything else that you would wish upon somebody in the community? Any advice that you have for them that you think they need to hear right now?
As I get older, the one thing that constantly is flowing back into my head for me, they say, if you can't love yourself, you can't love somebody else. Okay. Cliché, but true.
Yeah. But so true.
But I take it a step further and I say, no one is going to love me. No one is going to take care of me. No one is going to respect me unlike I treat myself, right? I'm a temple. I am, for lack of better words, I need to worship me and my vessel and my mind, spirit, body. And it can be really hard to do that when you're overwhelmed by societal norms. It can be hard to do that when you're conflicted internally with yourself. I definitely can't say I've always loved myself. That comes and goes, right? Like
100%.
But stick true to those things that allow you to love yourself. Plan out your self-care, right? Do the small things sometimes, even if you don't want to, just because you will feel better probably.
Yeah.
But just always love thyself. And I feel like if you can take a minute and if you can process your feels, get past some of the emotion, think logically, I call it listen to the universe, right? What messages what energy is coming your way? What signals and signs are really happening, right? What are people saying? Like saying almost without saying. What are people's actions in your life? Really evaluate everything out in yourself and outside yourself and build it as a brand. Who are you? Who do you want to be? And like my best friends and we say, like, I know my best friend is going to be at my wedding, right? I don't ever plan on getting married, but like in theory, I know she's there. I don't know who else is, but like, so I know those people that are going to be showing up for me. I know the people that will be there with me. And it's not always the people I expected or pictured but I had to put away the house, the
color by number
fence, and like I checked those boxes, right? I feel like I lived that American dream, but it's like if you can get outside of all of that and just listen to your true authentic self, then the universe will speak louder. You will ultimately just be happier. And I've been very blessed, and I feel this is true because once you stop spending time on that negative energy or that energy that's not bringing back positive energy, you make space for other energies to come in. And I've been very blessed that those energies that have come in have been relationships that are best friends, right?
Yeah.
I'm created this amazing family of people that support my authentic self. So even though it's going to be hard, and I'm sorry, this is like my tidbit though, is
Take
like,
it. Yeah.
even if it's going to be hard, even if it's going to be emotional, even if you feel like you might not get through it, day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, some deep breaths, find a hobby, find what fills your cup, spend time on you. And I think the rest just kind of falls into place.
Yeah, it's so true. And I love that I think this ties in really well with what you were saying earlier about how you have chosen how you show up and that you get to take care of your vessel and you get to adore your body and create your own brand. Because for those who are only listening to the audio version of this, Addison is a gorgeous person. She's wearing this amazing beaded outfit with these gorgeous pearls and rhinestones. Like you brought the glitter, and this is not unusual. You are a very showy person. You like
Yes.
your outfits. You like showing up with all the bling and all the flair and all the style and all the fashion. And you're also at least 6 feet tall, right? Like,
Yes, I am 6'2" and a diva. I have always been extra. I love kind of like soft rock, glitz, glam, like leather, lace. That's just kind of my essence.
yeah, yeah. I love that. I get that. People who know me are like, you always wear orange or yellow or red and you're so colorful. I'm like, yeah, that's me. Like,
And I love that. I love that. Like, I feel like we need more color, right? And I'm guilty of it, right? I'm saying that and I'm in white and black today,
but you're
but
sparkling.
yes, but there's a time, you know what I mean? Like, we need to just live authentically, bring all the color, bring all the glitter,
Yeah.
be the color, spice up your life.
Yes. So
So,
what does be the glitter mean to you? If you could like spread some glitter with that.
yeah, be the glitter to me, I think is just be kind, be compassionately curious and open minded. Be the glitter is love thyself and love thy neighbor. I think out of everything, usually when there's glitter, there's happiness.
Yeah.
There's usually glitter kind of is a fun thing. I think we need to take that as, if I'm going to be glitter, I'm going to be fun, I'm going to be authentic. I'm not going to take, life has serious moments, but
Yep.
I think being the glitter just means living in the moment and just letting it all go, just floating in the air, reflecting all of your beauty and sharing that with the world.
Oh, wow, that was a beautiful thing. That does seem so you, Addison, actually.
I
That's gorgeous.
I feel like me and glitter have gone way back. A lot of time to reflect with glitter.
Oh, I love that. So, was there ever a time where an ally was trying their best, but they got it wrong and they missed the glitter? Like the glitter just kind of fell to the floor instead of landing where it needed to land?
Yeah. An ally that was an ally but kind of got it wrong. I would say anyone that just hasn't been. I would say that I have had a lot of people kind of come and go as allies to me, but truth card always shows real. I
Mhm.
feel like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, way of the world. And anytime an ally has gotten it wrong, for me anyway, it's because they were an ally to me, but then kind of outside of our little relationship, not an ally.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for me sometimes to understand really where the boundaries of an ally are, because I have people that support and care about me, but also, and I don't, we don't
You
need
can
to go
say,
on this, but, or
yeah,
further on it, but
they're not
if you,
voting in your interests.
they don't believe that I should have rights. Yes, they are not worried about my legality of existence. They are not worried about what what life looks like for LGBTQ or trans people. Look at the Middle East. We can't exist safely there.
Yeah.
There are parts of the world where I can't travel to safely,
Yeah.
just based on my identity. And
Mhm.
so I think that we need to remember that America is supposed to be land of the free, and that we are all human, and that we are all entitled to human rights. We are
Mhm.
all entitled to exist as we are, because who am I to say that the way they want me to live is the right way?
Right.
Who is to say that? Where is the evidence that their philosophy, their social norms, their social structures are something that I need to abide to? I'm not out here harming myself, right? I'm
Yeah.
not out here harming people. I'm out here volunteering. I'm out here building a community. So if you really look at what I'm helping people sell houses, right? Like I'm trying to help people build dreams and wealth. So why do we have so much hate for people that are doing the exact opposite of what you're afraid of?
Yeah.
Because I'm minding my own business, existing as I am. If you don't like it, go exist somewhere else. Go,
Yeah.
you don't got to pay any attention to me. Just, I'm taking up less than 1% of the world's universal space, right?
Mhm.
Why does that bother people so much? Why can I not exist here? And so I would say that people that want, I've also had it where people will say, "Oh, we love you, you're Addison." But then on this next statement, say other trans people. Like that doesn't apply to you, Addison. That's not how this works. So and what can we do? Change, advocacy, education. And that's why I
Yep.
started sharing my story. That's why I'm starting to get out in the community more. That's why I'm here today. I'm
Yep.
also, we've been having these conversations about things on a much larger level, right? I'm on the board of directors for Advocates for Transgender Equality, a nonprofit national organization that works to fight for trans rights, trans equality. And I think it's really important for us to remember. So, advice for allies, advice for community members, advice for everyone is that
Mhm.
trans issues, trans rights all intersect with all other forms of existence.
Yeah.
When they are talking about getting rid of transgendered individuals, hormone replacement therapy, they are also talking about taking those same drugs away from women who are going through menopause. They're
Right.
talking about taking those same drugs away from people that are using them for birth control. They are
Yeah.
taking, you know what I mean? So they're all written in. It's not that
Mhm.
they're targeting just trans, they're targeting everyone. But what's the headline? And I'm glad,
Imagine.
because it
Yeah.
brings up more of a concern, right? They know how to get your attention. But at the same time, where's the compassion, right? Like we need to understand that all of these things affect everyone across every industry, every race, gender identity, sexual orientation, anything that we cannot, and with anti-discrimination laws, anything in that bubble, everyone's impacted.
Yep.
How,
I
how do
think
we come together?
how do we come together? I think if hormone replacement therapy also included erectile dysfunction medication, like if erectile dysfunction medication was somehow included in that umbrella of what that meant, we would be having a totally different political discussion. We'd be having a totally different national mindset on it. It's very misogynistic. And I'm even surprised about the people who are in the LGBTQ community, not the T, but LGB community, who are not realizing how transphobic they sound or act as well.
Mhm.
And that breaks my heart as well, because there's there's no help and support for us if we're fighting each other, let alone
No.
just having to fight the rest of the world. That's Fighting isn't going to help anything. We really need to come together, learn how to get educated and collaborate and celebrate the beauty of how complex we humans are, instead of exacerbating fear for how complex we are. Yes, we're a very prismatic, complex, complicated, not binary human race. We we come in all different colors, yes, different genders, yes, very different, everything. And yet we all bleed blood and we all have a heart. And if we use the brain that we're given and use the heart, I think, my goodness, we could find so much more reason to love who we are instead of finding ways to hate who we are.
Correct. And I hope anyone watching this, I hope everyone in the universe, it needs to be everyone, gets the opportunity to live as their authentic self and to feel the empowerment that feels, to harness everything that you are, your essence of being, to feel a connection with that. I hope everyone gets to experience that. And it's not going to be easy, right? Like finding yourself isn't easy. I literally had to go like meditate and like figure it out, right?
Yes.
I used education. I went and learned about all of these different things, and that helped for
Yeah.
me. So I think finding your way to connect and just be curious, learn something new. You should learn something new every day anyway. So just go out into the world, gain perspectives, talk to people, right? Be friendly.
And not be so afraid of happiness. Yeah.
And I hope that if this connects with anyone that needs help, please reach out.
Oh, so I love that you can be grateful for so many people in your life now. Do you mind sharing who could use some shout out and gratitude from you?
Yeah. So it's been, what, 25 years since I've probably talked to some of these people, but I've shared my story now a couple times. And I always think back to a few of my like educators that always created a safe space for me. Elementary school, shout out to Miss Feckner. She was my kindergarten teacher. She always allowed me the most safest space. And not, if I don't mention these people, and they see this, I'm so sorry. It's not, there's gratitude for everyone, but definitely just a few that stick out. I would also say in high school, the library, Miss Aspenson, she always was a safe space. Miss Fields from elementary school, thank you for making music. Miss Athnos, thank you for making music also, just a part of my life. Music is very big and important. I love to sing, things like that. So part of my hobbies, the way that I love myself, the way I process my feelings is through music, through rhythm, through singing. And so they help me through those very hard times to find a place that I can go to. Of course, my siblings, my mom, her mom, my aunts, my uncles. But I also need a few shout outs to my new community, right? To you, Laura. Thank you for having me here today. I love being your friend and all of the great things that we can do here in our community together. We're so aligned.
And we're just getting started.
I know, and I'm so excited about all of that. But to my friend, Chuck Sham, and I probably just butchered his name, and I'm so sorry for that. But then Ashton, Ashton Florence is another realtor here in Dane County. A great resource, an amazing human, loves theater. Shout out to him. And my bestie, love AB if you see this, or hear this. But to Brianna, she's the one that's going to be standing next to me or bailing me out. You know what I mean? Like she's the one grabbing the bag from under my bed. Yes. And of course, my BFF, I feel like I've been really adopted into my best friend's family. So of course, her parents, her family, I'm very blessed. And if I had to give a shout out, I'm very grateful that I have all of those people to list off. So thank you for giving me that space.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, that just gives me goosebumps. I love that there's so much love and support. I hope that in itself is something that a lot of people can take comfort in and learn from, that it's totally possible. I just absolutely adore every single guest who has come onto my podcast, including you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's brave to come out and tell your story and to share what is so great and what can hurt and what's confusing and what's lovely. And when we get to end with joy and gratitude, I think that's just is the magic of it all.
I agree. One thing I learned along the way of getting my master's degree and my real estate license is how much gratitude and affirmations. Call me the little witch that can, because I believe in manifestation, and always taking a time out of your day to just love. It's always worth the investment. You're never going to be mad that you loved somebody.
Yeah.
I do affirmations and gratitude every day.
Wow.
I hope anyone that's listening, I hope you can take that little tidbit, because it will change your life. You will love it. You will fall in love with yourself. You will see yourself differently. Go enjoy being grateful and loving.
What can we do to help you?
I don't even know.
What do you need from us?
I would say that I need compassionate curiosity, I think, is important. I need kindness, and I hope that people like, share, and follow, and contact and reach out to build the community that we're looking to build, the community of openness, the community of togetherness, the safe space that we all need. That's how you can help me, because by you existing authentically, by you living out of fear, by you being you, giving kindness, loving, being open-minded to others, you're creating a better tomorrow for everyone, including yourself.
Yeah, and it spreads. Oh, thank you so much, Addison. This was wonderful. I so appreciate everything you did.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for creating this safe space.
Thank you, Addison. Shine on, girl. Shine on.
Thank you.